Football is back for another week. Time to put on the cleats, boys. Hello, YouTube divers. This is Water Dive 122, and I want to welcome you guys to Week 9 of NFL predictions. We're halfway through the season. We've finally done it. And, yeah, this is going to be one interesting week. Now, I know this is the first time in a very long time that I've actually been back on the YouTube web. I want to thank you all very much for helping me out recently. And there will be more videos to come later on down the line, so please stay in tune for that. And also, I didn't do an NFL predictions video last week, mainly because it was halfway through the season, and, you know, we were already 8 weeks in, and I just needed a break. But yeah, nobody could have predicted what happened last week. Yeah, the Panthers losing to the Falcons. You had the Eagles knocking off the Cowboys, which I knew the Eagles were going to do because the Cowboys are complete garbage. Sorry to you Cowboys fans out there. Yeah, the Saints knocking off the Bears, which is not really a huge surprise, but the Bears took them into overtime, so that's why I thought they did that. So yeah, Week 9 is finally here, so let's get right into it. First off, we have the Texans and the Jaguars. Battle between two one-win teams. I think the Texans are going to win this game. The Texans are probably the best one-win team in the NFL right now. But, however, Deshaun Watson's still playing good, but he can't do it all on his own. He doesn't really have any consistent passing catchers to work with. Doesn't have a stay healthy workhorse running back. The offensive line is terrible. The defense is terrible. Yeah, it's just going to be a miserable season for the Texans. Same thing with the Jaguars. Gardner Minshew's not going to play, so the Jaguars are pretty much dead. Yeah, I have Houston winning this one comfortably. I have them winning by a final score of 35-10 over the Jaguars. I don't even think the Jags are going to keep this one close. Certainly didn't in the last meeting, so yeah, we will see. Moving right along to the Panthers-Chiefs game, I have the Chiefs winning by a final score of 35-20. Yeah, there is no way the Panthers are going to beat the Chiefs. No way. Mahomes, I think, should have a feast on our young defense. And the good news is that Christian McCaffrey is coming back this week. So that should be a little bit of a boost because the Chiefs don't have a good run defense. Yeah, so expect a decent day for Carolina's running backs and for their offense as well. Basically, their rushing game. But really, outside of that, there's not really a lot to cheer about. So yeah, I have the Chiefs winning by 15. But I do think the Panthers should keep it a little bit competitive because despite the Panthers being very, very young, they're still very, very, very competitive. They only lost by, I don't know, like 2 touchdowns to the Bucs, and they lost by a field goal to the Saints, which are all elite teams, and we lost by a touchdown to the Bears. Not bad. All of them are elite class teams. Certainly didn't help that the Panthers have a brutally tough schedule going out throughout the course of the season. So, yeah, just can't wait to see how this game will go. It'll mainly, I guess, like yeah. Moving right along to the next game, the Broncos and the Falcons. Yeah, this should be an ugly, ugly game. Not really a lot of talent. I mean, this should be an offensive game for sure, as both these teams have decent offenses. But I just feel like, you know, I guess it will just come down to who makes the biggest play in crunch time. And I think the Broncos are going to do that. I have the Broncos winning by a final score of 24-19 over the Atlanta Falcons. And that's saying a lot, too, because I'm currently in Atlanta right now. Yeah, so. Alright, moving right along to the next game, which is the Bears and Titans. I have the Titans winning this one 27-22. No, 27-17. Why not? I mean, this should be probably a lopsided game because the Bears, they have a really good defense, and the Titans have a really good offense. But the Bears' offense, on the other hand, is terrible, and so is the Titans' defense. I don't know if Desmond King is going to be playing. It's probably unlikely because COVID list, tests, whatever, all that fun stuff. So yeah. But yeah, I feel like the Titans should get a win here, and if they don't, they got some major question marks going throughout the rest of the season. But they could still keep tradition going and go 9-7, still make the playoffs. Yeah. All right, moving right along to the Raiders versus Chargers game. I have the Raiders winning by a final score of 21-16 over the LA Chargers. SoFi Stadium, very tough place to play. It's a gorgeous stadium. Love it a lot. But however, it's not really helping because the Chargers, well, they're going to Chargers. They blew a 24-3 lead against the Broncos last week. And the Raiders won last week, but it was an ugly, ugly game against the Cleveland Browns. They won by a final of 16-6. But, however, they're playing indoors, so hopefully weather won't be a factor in this one. So, yeah. But I feel like the Chargers are a good football team. They just need to find a way to finish close games. That's basically been the story about them all season. They go up by huge points, and they perform classic Chargers duties. Same. They just find embarrassing ways to lose close games. Kind of like the Falcons. All right. Moving on. Moving on to the next game, which is the Giants and Washington. Yeah, this one should be ugly. The Giants won the last meeting between these two teams by a final score of 20-19. Daniel Jones is probably one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL right now. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know down in the comments section below. But really, Daniel Jones is just not really the Danny Dimes we saw from last year, or at least not in clutch moments. Now, don't get me wrong, the Giants almost beat elite teams like the Bucs and probably Eagles. No. So yeah, and Washington is nowhere. Is just, who the heck is Washington? Yes, they beat the Cowboys, but that's because the Cowboys are complete trash. And they also beat the Eagles, because the Eagles are also complete trash. Really, nobody in the NFC East should make the playoffs this year, because they're all pretty bad. Yeah, so really, outside of that, there's not a whole lot to take in. So, yeah, I have Washington winning this one, in a very, very, very close game. I'm going to say 17-14, Washington. Home field advantage should help, too, because Washington's won all their games this year at FedEx Field. So, that should be something. Moving right along to the next game. That's the Dallas Cowboys against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers should win this game, no question about it. Steelers have a good defense. They should have a feast on that battered up Cowboys offensive line. Yeah, the Steelers should win this one. I have them winning by a final score of 40-7. It's just going to be a bad game for the Cowboys. It's not. It's as if their season's already going down the drain already. And next up, we got the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings. These are my quick picks, or quick scores, if you will. I had the Vikings winning by a final score of 28-23. Very impressive performance against the Packers. But that Lions rushing defense, in my opinion, is a little bit more tougher to run on than the Packers rushing defense. So I don't think Dalvin Cook will have a big game like he did against the Packers. But I do think he should have a fairly average game. Like, I'm predicting maybe 2 rushing touchdowns from Dalvin Cook. And then after that, you have the Saints and Buccaneers Sunday Night Football. I have the Buccaneers winning this one. I know I was completely proven wrong back in week 1, last time these two teams met. That was because, for one thing, the Bucs weren't in full control, weren't in full chemistry. But now they are. They're 6-2. They're looking pretty darn good. And let me tell you, that defense. If I had a fantasy league, I'd probably put Devin White in there as one of my starting defensive linemen, because I like Devin White a lot. Yeah, the Bucs should win this game. Well, and it's not. And I know the Saints had their two best pass catchers coming back in, Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. But can Drew Brees throw the football to them? Because he does have a little bit of a shoulder injury. I don't know if that's going to affect him. But yeah, the Bucs defense should have a pretty good game against the Saints. So I had the Bucs winning in another shootout by a final score of 40-33. Moving on to the Monday Night Football game, which is, I don't even know why the heck this game is even on Monday Night Football. That's the Patriots and the New Jersey Jets, or the New York Jets, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, the Patriots should win this game. 23-10 is my final. The Jets are just complete garbage. And the Patriots finally lost to the Bills. I'll be getting to them in a second. Yeah, the Patriots should probably win this game. And if they don't, then they're complete trash. And next up you have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, this should be a fun game. I have Seattle winning by a final score of 33-28. Should be a shootout between two MVP caliber quarterbacks. Next up, you have the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa against Kyler Murray. This one should be interesting. Very interesting. I have the Cardinals winning this matchup, not by a whole lot. Because I do think the Dolphins will be at least a little bit competitive in this one. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section below. But, yeah, this one should be interesting. So, I have the Cardinals winning by a final score 34-23. So, I believe that is all my NFL predictions. And if I missed any, please let me know down in the comment section below. Yeah. I'll be back to posting more videos very soon. So thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is WaterEv122 signing out, ready to dive into more fun on YouTube. Thanks for watching.